Well, increased spending on schemes like ComCare help fortify social safety nets amid the pandemic. In this year's SG Pulse, or this week's SG Pulse, Melissa Goh explores just how spending priorities will shift and how the country will foot the bill.
6416, Ivan on the road. All hing hing.
Ivan is a 52-year-old taxi driver whose income has been greatly hit by COVID-19.
The biggest worry when I woke up, is bills, rental. I'm the sole breadwinner of the family. My wife is living in a nursing home. She's down with Alexandra disease, an incurable disease.
He takes home a fraction of the $2,000 to $3,000 he used to earn, dreading the day taxi rental subsidies dry up. He has received the self-employed person's income relief and other financial support from the government to help him tide by. There are many others like Ivan, and billions of dollars have been used to support them during this pandemic. This adds to the trend of increased social spending from various ministries to tackle structural shifts like an aging population and climate change. Spending from the Social and Family Development Ministry alone has risen almost 60% over the last 2 decades. Experts say the upward trend is likely to continue, but now with the effects of COVID-19 likely to be felt for a few more years, more will be spent on picking up the pieces.
Job support, the self-employed income relief scheme, some of this, maybe even scaled down a little bit, more targeted, but these kind of things will still remain. It's likely that we will see additional spending on continuous education, adult learning, reskilling, retraining for new roles.
To pay for this, taxes are set to go up. For one, GST will increase from 7% to 9%, a move Mr. G expects to raise only about $3 billion more. But who will bear the heavier burden?
The reality is that, whoever consumes more will have to pay more GST.
Another analyst noted that lower-income Singaporeans contribute less GST payments because they spend less. A large part of that also goes back to them through GST vouchers. Authorities have said that asset and income taxes will be tweaked.
Given our desire to keep our income tax structure progressive, we will levy higher taxation on those best able to pay that tax.
It's always the rich whom you get the majority of your taxes from. But at the same time, it is also the rich that you are concerned about the most. The concern, for example, with raising taxes on the rich, on multinational corporations in Singapore, is that they always have a choice to pack up and leave. And if too many of them do that, you may not get your tax revenue increase.
But COVID-19 may impact how they react.
Around the world, governments are having to raise money, and clearly in other countries too, corporate income tax rates will have to rise to pay for all of this additional spending worldwide. So Singapore has the space to do this too, I think, over time.
Raising taxes on big earners and businesses could be less costly politically, but could harm the country overall.
What we're going to miss is the fact that their presence in Singapore could well have supported a lot of middle-class jobs.
We want to anchor businesses, we want to anchor people who are invested in Singapore. So people who are prepared to come here and enjoy the benefits of this wonderful place should be prepared to pay the costs we all have to pay if we can.
Borrowing is another option, but that would mean making future taxpayers pay. Experts say some decisions like raising GST will be unpopular. And there's no perfect timing, but they expect some of the tax changes can be implemented once the economy stabilizes.
Well, SG Pulse continues tomorrow as we look at the various forms of social support proposed to the government, like minimum wage and unemployment insurance.